Syracuse, a 6'8" freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, number 15, Carmelo Anthony. Cuse, Jim Boeheim. And for Kansas, Roy Williams.
They are good friends, these two, and now they're brawling in New Orleans. It's Collison and Warwick to get the championship game underway.
Both tried to steal the tap. Warwick got the advantage.
Billy, I would think the pace in this game is so critical, more than most that you see.
Well, here's what we're going to see early on, and certainly go forth. A young man who's had 5 games of late where he hasn't had a field goal.
He didn't have a field goal in the semifinal, but he hits a basket right away. But trying to establish the pace here early, Kansas against that 2-3, I would think it'd be so critical.
Well, they're packing things back in, and what I want to point out is 2 of the 3 players for Kansas are not good perimeter shooters. Hey, how about Syracuse saying we can run?
Allison flips that one away.
May be ready if they could win this game, but maybe want that Big 12 championship title back in our side.
Well, Anthony comes in after the shortness. Yes, they could be the Big 12 champs and the national champs if Syracuse wins tonight. Anthony looks like he's going to take it to him. Instead, outside to the other freshman, McNamara with the three.
There's Kansas trying to push it up floor, but you know what? If you
shots from the field, 14 attempts.
Second best first half he had in the year. Arizona being the other. Good backdoor cut by Anthony.
Delaney is in the right place for the put down.
Notice Anthony setting up down inside the lane.
Outside 3. Oh, how pure.
And what Langford's going to have to understand, let Anthony uses his head and his eyes to look you down and then prepares that jumper.
Beautiful pass. Graves so quickly inside to Collison. And one.
Obviously, Miles an excellent defender against the dribble.
McNamara feeling his pressure. Anthony on the baseline. Looking to shrug off Langford again.
Roy Williams was right. That was a double dribble. He got by. Delaney on the shot.
Delaney with the 2-hand.
We have seen, whether it be right or left hand, Collison really has the soft hands in the crowd.
4 turnovers for the Jayhawks here in the early going. McNamara, 3 again.
And there's Anthony.
Yesterday, I think somewhat whimsical. My offensive philosophy, give the ball to Anthony and get everybody else to get out of the way.
Nice help that time by Collison. Anthony had beaten Langford. Langford seems like he's a little tired right now. He's grasping. Early in this ball game, he's breathing very heavily.
Michael Lee
on this team, even though Heinrich obviously has a lot more attempts and is a 43% career three-point shooter.
Yeah, Lee's over 50% on the season. Warwick in the paint. They're going to count the basket and send him to the line.
Melo Anthony showing that he can overpower Langford any time within 12 feet. They think early in this ball game, this is where he can be so effective.
And if you're a Kansas fan, Billy, the man you always hold your breath with as far as foul trouble, Graves, has picked up his second here, 7.5 minutes into the game.
Talked about him early, and Williams' bench is so short and when great game.
So put Anthony on the board, and there is a block inside of Nash.
Warwick, beautiful block.
Anthony Heinrich on him. Finds the open man, Edelman.
Jim, this young Miles and Langford going out of there now, that will not get it done.
Anthony read the inbound. 3-on-1 and up the pace for the 2.
Roy Williams needs a timeout, and he is going to take it. His team is not showing confidence on the perimeter. Too much pressure on the inside.
Syracuse, 15 in front.
But look at Syracuse again, back down the floor.
Heinrich at last.
Finally.
Big 3 for the senior from Sioux City, Iowa.
We're talking about the career three-point shooter, Kansas history. And he is going to have to come up huge if they're going to come back.
Will the first be the start of something? Anthony shut down this time, gets it right back.
See where he gets it back in a little closer, and that makes him have so much advantage over Langford. How smart.
So easy and smiling all the way.
And it's not smiling in spot. Again, trying to go inside out.
Heinrich, two straight perhaps. Yes.
Good looking follow through by Heinrich on his shot. Warren couldn't get there in time. Good sign for Kansas.
Yes, Kansas feels complete when that's working. But very telling what you said. No fast break points after what we saw the running Jayhawks of Saturday.
Now, why Syracuse pulled this out? Kansas went to a 1-3-1 zone, something that Arizona did so effectively against them. Collison's running the baseline.
There again.
That eliminates the point zone a little bit.
Nothing wrong with those wrists. Miles quickly at the other. Graves waits. Gets it.
Now, why they're in a zone is because Graves had to come back out on the floor with this deficit, but he's got the 2 fouls on him, Jim. And what Roy Williams is trying to do right now is to protect him in this 1-3-1 zone, playing right in the middle. Graves is going to have to really move his hands and be thinking, as opposed to picking up another cheap foul. So Syracuse, the team that plays the zone, now has to play against the zone.
Anthony, wow, nifty move.
Look at Syracuse hustle back down the court. Once again, their game this year. Tremendous first half on their part.
One more for Langford, and with Anthony out of the lineup, just a brief break, the Orangemen increased their lead by 4. More on that about
Graves showing that great strength inside.
Graves has 8 for Kansas.
Nice little comeback here by Kansas.
Oh, and they tie him up, and the arrow to Kansas.
Nice comeback. Anthony thought he had the size to hold that ball over his head. Kind of surprised him a little bit.
You're talking about that 96 matchup, Kansas and Syracuse. That was out west, and that was a thriller. Syracuse going on to the final against Kentucky, Rusatino's championship.
A 60-57 ball.
Right here in the Superdome. Edelin, short. Miles comes out with it. On the wing, Langford, and oh man, Anthony drags him down.
But he did hold him on the way down. Nice sportsmanship that time by Carmelo Anthony.
That could really hit him hard. And now you have also...
he was going for ball to start off with there. I think that is really good sportsmanship on his part.
No question.
He was going for the block, and then he realized that he could get in trouble and help go right down to the floor with him. Nice job.
Been controlled by Syracuse. Kansas led for all of 11 seconds.
I don't know if the players realize this, but they should go and try to steal.
Down to 10 on the shot clock, 7-second differential. Anthony over Collison this time. Oh!
That was not a good play by Kansas.
Kansas, that's what you're talking about. Look at this.
There it is.
He suffered a lower back strain in the game against Texas here on Saturday.
Do this. This is why their zone is so effective. So I think it's something that their players are used to.
2 misfires at the line. Kansas 8 out of 15 tonight shooting threes. McNamara 2-point shot. Anthony with the tip.
Back didn't look sore there, did it?
Not at all.
That was progressively trying to play this game inside 10 feet.
With this in, that was the 3rd call against Langford. Warwick over Thomason.
Nice play defensively by Dawson. Langford giving up too much size. Can't keep Anthony off the boards.
Well, that'll be number 4.
Wow, Roy Williams now in real trouble. We talked Eastern Regional's most valuable player and some problems.
Out of Baltimore, Maryland. Talked with Juan Dixon before the Final Four. Juan told him there's nothing like playing in the Final Four. There's his break.
If you're Syracuse, I think you want to get McNamara open for an outside shot.
And Graves read that one up ahead. Tough pass. Graves twice now. Graves made suspect passes. Anthony, big 3.
Huge mistake by Graves, trying to make a play. Now there's no numbers. Heinrich should pull it back out. And
Miles,
no place to go.
4th just held his ground.
The 4th never moved, and Miles came right to him.
Heinrich is ready to come into the scorer's table. Anthony on the drive and the give up Edelin. Ooh, off the front of the rim.
Edelin pretty creative on the...
Number on America Online into the keyword CBS Sports Line. Pace makes the move past Lee. Drives home 2.
Your ball handler. Collison not used to playing a guy this far from the basket. Collison trying to get a 5-second call.
Yeah, he looks over to the official as a reminder. And a double up to the corner, McNamara. Baseline shut off. Pace stepping in. 7 on the shot clock. as we approach 2 minutes. Edelin up and in.
That's a huge play because Kansas had the clock. Those timeouts beautifully here to rest his basketball team. If Carmelo Anthony had the good back, I don't think there'd be any problem getting the ball right to him.
Oh, Graves hits the floor. Warwick and Dewaney will be the man to the line. Double bonus. He'll shoot 2. And again, Anthony slow to get up.
This young man has been battered tonight, and there's no question in my mind that he's nowhere near 100. Start thinking 3.
Kansas second half, 4 out of 17 from the line.
Unbelievable.
Dewaney one more with 24 seconds. 3-point game. What do you do now?
I think he can still go for 2. You got enough time, but they got to get it up in a hurry. And if they don't, then they're going to have to go for 3.
Heinrich can tie it with the long one. Rattles out. Warwick with the rebound, and he'll head to the other end for 2. Oh, Heinrich thought he had made it.
I thought that was a pretty good job by Heinrich to take that shot. Roy Williams did as well.
He comes in for McNamara.
Jim Boeheim wanting more size on the defensive end.
Syracuse. Oh, in and out. A 3 can tie it. Kansas has a shot. Miles to the right side. Heinrich to the top of the key. Heinrich with 4 seconds. Gives it up corner. Lee shot blocked. They have less than a second to go.
It's not how tall, it's how long, and Warwick got a piece of that. He's showing no time on the clock, but 7/10 of a second on the shot clock.
So there's 7/10 on the game clock. And Heinrich, I thought he would launch it. Lee instead.
7/10 of a second. I really thought Heinrich probably should have taken it, but you know, Lee's up for 2, and if you're Syracuse, you go ahead and don't worry about anybody underneath the basket. Let it go there. But Heinrich and Lee are the 2 guys.
Heinrich starts inside, goes outside. Heinrich gets it. Heinrich puts up the shot. It's too long, and Syracuse is your national champion.
Has New Orleans given us Final Fours or not?
Two great friends, 2 outstanding coaches.